Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is BJTH3063. And my matric number is 27769. And today I will be present question 5, which is chronological order all Apple products, introductions, date and status, e.g. advantage or disadvantage, strength or weakness and age. The first Apple product is Apple Ones, and introduction date is in July 1976. Status stood out among others computer because it's enabled using a keyboard, and an ordinary videos monitor alternative of DAs was included in the base price. 200 units were produced and sold, and evidently paved the way for a new company in the personal computer business. Next is Apple II. Introduction date is April 1977. The main feature of the machines was that people could use it straight out of the box. Apple II could load its operating system automatically, unlike competitor machines, and made the startup process easier. The third one is Apple III. Introduction date is May 1980. Apple III turned out to be a failure, and chips were prone to failure after long periods of use. Okay, next is Lisa Computer. Introduced date is January 1983. Status by most accounts, Lisa was a failure, selling only around 10,000 units, and Lisa was discontinued in 1895. Next is Macintosh. Introduction date is October 1983. Status max low processor speed and a lack of compatible software limited its sales. The Macintosh was succeeded by the Macintosh 8 in the 1988, the Macintosh LCS and the Macintosh LLCI in 1999, the Macintosh ILSI and Macintosh IIFS in 1990, and the Macintosh IIVI and IIVX in 1993. Next is Macintosh Portable. Introduction date is September 1999. The first Macintosh computer could be battery powered and portable. It was received with excitement from critics, but very few were sold. Next product is PowerBook 100 series. Introduction date is October 1991. Status: the modern form factors of portable computers refer to the bolts of hinge between the screens and the keyboards. In their first years on the market, PowerBooks generated over 1 billion in sales and destroyed other competitors in the portable markets. Next is iMac. Year's introduction is in 1999. Within the following months, Apple got an expected number of orders, and in the first weeks of availability, Apple sold nearly 280,000 iMacs. The iMacs become the symbol of Apple returns to profitability and a turning point for computer design as a whole. Lastly is MacBook Air. Introduction date is in January 2008. At the same time, it was promoted as the world's thinnest laptop, measuring only 16mm. Introduced an entire new category of notebooks, a kind of sub-notebooks that Apple had never created before. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is Nurbalkis binti Adam, matric number 279498, and I'm going to tell you about characteristics of Apple company. There are 5 characteristics of Apple Incorporation. The first one is Apple Incorporation is very secretive company. The second one is they are not the biggest on research and development. The third one is they chooses the product it manufactures very cautiously. And the fourth is they bake into the corporate culture. And the last one is they operate design, engineering and retailing on its own. As a result of the several reports reviewed above, Apple is considered to be one of the world's most innovative companies. There are, however, 2 key considerations to mention here. First and foremost, Apple is a very secretive organization. Only staff aware of how the organization operates and how its items are selected. Secondly, Apple does not spend the most or even one of the most on research and development compared to its competitors. The research and development budget of Apple's including is merely 2.7% of total revenue, according to Jaroslawski and DeHoff. Jobs reiterated that remark at the 8th conference in 2010, adding that Apple is a corporation that does not have the most resources, according to Paskowski, and the way we have been successful is by being really selective about which horses we ride. So the third characteristic based on the statement is that we may infer that Apple chooses the products that it manufactures with great care and does not immediately implement every new concept that is brought to the table by the customers. Apple, as previously said, is a firm that places a high value on maintaining secrecy. Its future products are kept a secret from competitors, potential customers, and even their own personnel to the greatest extent possible. Workers at the corporation has been terminated for leaking any kind of information to outside parties, and the company has even been accused of spreading false information about product plans among its own employees, according to Stone and Vance. So the fourth characteristic of Apple is secrecy is baked into the business culture, as seen by the business conduct policy, which states that knowledge about our products and services is one of our greatest assets. To get their workplaces personnel working on top secret project must typically through a maze of security doors, sweeping their identification badges repeatedly until they ultimately enter a numeric code, never being allowed to discuss what they are doing with their colleagues or even their superiors. It must be stressed at this point that Apple has no external focus, as evidenced by the fact that the company undertakes no market research and does not pay attention to the product of competitors. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a good day, Doctor. My name is Nurul Izzah binti Muhammad Razi, metric number 278028. Next, I'll present question 6, which is about the chronological order of all Apple products in terms of devices. Apple's first product was a laser writer, which was released in 1985. Apple collaborated with Adobe System to bring this product to market with the purpose of demonstrating how a computer and printer could be useful in everyday life. Millions of people become home printer when the desktop publishing era arrived. Following that, Apple produced two products in 1993, the MessagePad and the Newton. The MessagePad was designed to be a compact, lightweight computer and communicator that structured information and thoughts. New feature included an address book, calendar, notepad, and the ability to fax and email when linked into a regular phone line. Then there was Newton, which was the first product to deliver handwriting recognition software to the general public, and it was a huge hit, selling 50,000 units in the first 10 weeks. The handwriting system was also a big issue as it yielded varied results and it was imprecise. Sales begins to dwindle and eventually come to halt. During the next 5 years, Apple managed to sell less than 300,000 Newton devices. Apple released a QuickTake 100 a year later in 1994. Although it was not a commercial success, it paved the way for introduction of digital camera to the market. The device was manufactured in 3 models until it was cancelled in 1997 due to weak sales and a shift in business policy upon Steve Jobs' return. Following that, Apple launched the iPod in October 2001. It took less than a year to create, and it came with a 5 GB hard drive that could store 1,000 tunes in your pocket. The overall sale of digital music player in 1998 were roughly $100 million. Sales were over $4 billion 4 years later. Apple's iPod commanded 75% of the market in this category. In October 2011, more than 300 million iPods have been sold by Apple. The iTunes Store, which released in April 2003 with 200,000 songs priced at $0.99 apiece, went on to sell more than 50 million songs in the first year. With iTunes U, which allows universities to share media files with students and the wider public, it continues to grow at a breakneck pace. After 2 years, in 2005, Apple released a new iPod. They released the first iPod which could play movies, TV shows, and music videos. Apple released the Apple TV the following year in 2006. It let customers to stream videos and TV shows that they had already purchased from the iTunes Store to their television. Due to its expensive price and limited functionality, the gadget has not been as successful as the iPod. The iPhone was introduced in January 2007. It was priced $399, which was unusually low in the industry. It has been updated on an annual basis for the past 5 years and is currently in 5th version. Many iPhone killer goods appeared on the market in 2008, challenging but not winning battle. After that, Apple shipped its 100 million iPhone in 2010, and there have been no obvious iPhone killers on the market since then, as the product continues to sell well. The iOS App Store launched in July 2008. Developers had already created over 600 apps that took advantage of the iPhone device in fascinating new ways a month after the software development kit was introduced, giving both monetary motivation and creative idea to new developers. On December 12, 2011, the iOS App Store had over 500,000 apps available, with customers downloading over 18 billion apps. After that, on January 27, 2010, Apple released the iPad. It was a multi-purpose mobile device that could be used to browse the web, read and send email, view photos, watch movies, listen to music, play games, and read the ebooks, among other things. Apple had a 75% market dominance in the tablet market by the end of 2010, having sold more than 14 million iPads worldwide in less than a year. A year later, on March 2, 2011, Apple released iPad 2. The majority of these devices cost more than $1,000, ran on Windows, and included a pen. Furthermore, they only represented 1% of the PC market. In 2011, there are iPod Shuffle, iPod Nano, iPod Classic, iPod Touch, Apple TV, iPhone, and iPad. This product accounted for more than 70% of the company's 2011 sales and have allowed it to develop at an exponential rate in recent years. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Adiba Shakila binti Abdul Qadir and my matric number is 277031. And I'm going to explain about question 9, which is SWOT analysis, the possible strengths in Apple's company based on the case study given. There are 4 strengths in Apple's company that we can find in the case study, which is first, Apple do not need to create a new market to be innovative, but instead improve a product that is already known to consumer in such a way that it is looked upon as a new product. Next, Apple also was aimed at creating a new product that consumers did not yet know and make them mainstream and necessary in everyday life. Number 3 is no external marketing research is done in order to see how to satisfy customer demand. Instead, the company knows its consumer to the point where they direct consumer demand and change it on as they improve product. And lastly, Apple focuses internally instead of externally for product ideas. That's all from me. Thank you.